Welcome back. It's time now to talk politics, and not necessarily from an expansive point of view. Of course, that may come into the picture somewhere along the line, but we're looking specifically at the main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, and we're going to Delta State, of course, for good reason, following the defection of the governor, the former governor, and of course, some other leaders of the party. And joining us to have this conversation this morning is the chairman, PDP South-South Zonal Caretaker Committee, Chief Ibori. He joins us virtually from Delta State, Asaba, the capital. Chief, good morning, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Good morning, my dear sister. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We hear that there's, some rallying of the Delta PDP to put its house in order, but I'm wondering where that is leading, if it is leading anywhere, especially as you have 6 members of the House of Reps from the PDP who have defected to the All Progressives Congress, the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Dennis Guwo, and 21 other PDP members have defected to the APC, and that makes the Delta Assembly now an APC, a one-party assembly. So what is there really to rally about? Isn't the PDP in Delta dead and buried, Chief?
Some of our members in the Delta State, well, since they have confirmed their defection, like we said earlier, we are going to put the legal process on, and we have to claim our mandate. PDP is still strong in Delta State. Yes, it's true. There was this way, it's like a flood. Now that the flood, I'm sure, is ending, the good ones will definitely come back. And we're waiting for them.
All right, let's talk about the legality now of or what may be the legal consequences, particularly, following that judgment on the Delta, the Rivers Assembly defectors, if you like, now purported because of the controversy surrounding their defection. Have you secured the letters of notification to confirm that indeed these lawmakers, state assembly lawmakers, defected? And will you be challenging this in court so that we do not have a part 2 of what happened in River State, in Delta State?
Definitely, we're going to challenge it. We are going to challenge it in court, yes.
But have you received confirmation in documentation from these defectors that indeed they have defected?
We'll get it eventually. Yes.
All right, let's talk about the fates now of Delta PDP in the next elections, particularly, with the very strong presence of, the former Deputy Senate President and former Deputy Senate President Omo, who also has a governorship ambition. He was the candidate of the APC in the last election. What are your projections in that regard as the governor has now defected to the All Progressives Congress?
One thing at a time. We still have a long way to go. First, we want to test the courts and see what we can do about the defection. But of course, that will be a problem. We are sure that we're going to take back our mandate. That is, PDP is going to return in Delta State, because all the development in that 26 years is done by PDP.
All right, Chief Ogidi, let's talk about this. It's easy to say you're going to recover the mandate. I do not know. Chief Ogidi, I don't know. I think the last time, correct me if I'm wrong, which we reference as the locus classicals here, Abegunde versus the House of Assembly in Ondo State. That was a long time ago. Which talks about interpreting section 109 subsection 1G, that the political class sometimes has turned that section on its head in this sense. So when you say confidently you're going to recover your mandate, what exactly do you have in your kitty that is different from what we already know? Because the argument here is There's still debate over who is your national secretary, at least that position. Let's just stay with that. For instance, there are people that don't want Damagun, there are people that want him, but at least Damagun is still in charge. National secretary, whether it's Udo Okoye or is Sam Mayanwu, the governors have taken a position. So that's premise number one. In fact, that was premise for the Rivers defectors when they actually defected before they walked back in that sense. Second, you are in charge of the caretaker committee in the South-South, but there's also the people that are holding on to the South-South zone as the leaders of the South-South elected in Calabar. So we can look at some of the divisions within the space, although the law talks about national to be able to adjudicate over defection. So what do you have that is so strong that you're confident that you'll be able to get this mandate back, especially from the lawmakers?
For sometimes my years is too. You know, those who say they are from the South-South, they're imposters. Remember the Supreme Court gave that judgment that the party decides. And the party decides that Abuja the headquarters. The South-South zone is not independent. It's part of the national. And I've been attending national meeting. I'm a member of the National Working Committee. And by the grace of God, we have said that on the 27th of this month, we're going to have a meeting. And I guess by that time, all these issues will be resolved. And then we'll not start facing it. The good thing is that we have time. But you know, some politicians are very patient. That's why we have all this.
So, in rebuilding, for those who are still within your party, what exactly are you telling them right now to make them to stay in that sense? This is default PDP state until this quote-unquote tsunami happen. So for the ones that are keeping faith with the PDP, what exactly are you telling them out? Because it's about negotiation, it's about interest. What are you putting on the table to make them stay?
That they are the ones even telling me that they're not going anywhere, that they have the belief in PDP. So my job is very easy.
So they are saying they will not go anywhere. Okay. Because as it stands, just a moment, yes. Chief Ogidi, just a moment. So because election, political parties, their platform for winning election primarily, and then we can talk about the issue of the ideology, which for me doesn't exist in the first place. So as it stands now, if there is an election, I don't see what PDP can do as far as the PDP is concerned in Delta State, whether at the national presidential election or the governorship election, because those are the kind of questions ordinary citizens who are not partisan will be asking. So if they want an alternative, how robust is PDP in Delta to be able to give them that buffer?
We want to test it. We want to test it. You know, we're confident we have the people. The masses are behind us. So we're going for the test.
Chief Ogidi, I'm wondering what you hinge your confidence on, because many of the leaders, the leading voices of the PDP in Delta, have defected to the All Progressives Congress. And in fact, there is talk about the uncertainty about where the leader and the most respected member of the PDP in Delta State, where his loyalties lie now, whether it's in the APC or the People's Democratic Party, his own home political party. I'm talking about Chief James Ibori. So if you do not even have his support and you can confirm that, what is the strategy for the PDP to reclaim its mandate in the next election? So first of all, talk to us about where exactly Chief Ibori lies as far as political party representation is concerned.
It's a strong man. He's a leader in his own rights. And everybody will consult him. There's no doubt about that. And I have plans to reach him too. But what I'm trying to say is that the base is PDP. Delta State is PDP. It's rooted. It's difficult to uproot the PDP from Delta State. That's what's giving me confidence.
So is Chief Ibori still in PDP?
Because We have all the development to show for it.
Did you just...
Yeah, not to those their best. It was an elder statesman now. He's watching what is going on.
But yes. Can you confidently say that you are assured of his support for the 2027 elections?
Because it's started development. I don't see how we want to run away from it.
Okay, talk to us about
PDP today in very last day. Yes.
All right, Chief Ogidi, talk to us about the talks of this coalition ahead of 2027, particularly because that may have been punctured by revelations by the former governor of your state, Chief Ibori, that in fact the presidential candidate of your party, Chief Ibori, has hinted that to him now that he also may be leaving the PDP. So how confident are you that this coalition is anything that Nigerians should take seriously?
Well, you see, there is so much talk about coalition. Even our former president, Obasanjo, said that it's going to be tough for one party alone to win the election. But like we all know today, PDP is still the most viable opposition. And I'm sure by the time we meet in the neck, we're going to review all these comments and we'll take a position on it.
I know that your neck... Chief Ogidi, as much as we all like to see your neck hold, but I know your neck has been in perpetual postponement in that sense, with the greatest sense of respect. Yes. You know what I'm talking about. Under some flimsy excuse one time or the other, May 27th is next that's been proposed. And already, part of what was hinged as part of the cues by Ibori and the rest to say, I think we want to just excuse ourselves is to the effect of the position of the governors of the PDP on some decisions they took in Ibadan. So how confident are you that NEC will hold? That's one. Two, how confident are you that the PDP will do what every Nigerian who watches the party expects them to do, to make hard decisions? It looks like NEC is being postponed because everybody's afraid of everybody.
Well, by the grace of God, we are trying to call it behind it. And it is said we are going to be 27 by the weekend.
Okay, as we custom now, Chief, that suit, I keep referring to it time and again by PDP governors to challenge the state of emergency declaration in Rivers State. Is it something that Nigerians should take seriously, particularly because of hints of another defection by another PDP governor?
Well, as it stands, Nigerians will take us serious. But if they want to pull out, fine. Because tomorrow it will be there. As a governor, you need to test it. But if you want to pull out, and it happens to you tomorrow, where will you run to?
All right. We must thank you very much, Dr. Ogidi, for your time on the program. And we hope that your optimism gives us more... Yeah, you were going to say something?
I'm not a...
Okay, you're not a doctor.
I didn't get that, sir.
Oh. Give me another title now, you're blowing the mind. I'm not a doctor.
Okay. Pardon me, sir. Chief Ibori, thank you so much, sir. We've been talking with the chairman, PDP South Zonal Caretaker Committee, who joined us virtually from Asaba. Chief Ibori, thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.
And so from here, we move on to another important talking point, very critical, patriotism, but you'll be hearing from somebody that you didn't expect. So stay with us for that conversation. We'll be right back.